we are now on the air, so I have to do something to start the show officially. Well, welcome everyone to Live from the Dutch Hall. This is a very, very special show. Where's the camera? Right here. We have a very, very special show for you tonight. We're starting pretty much on time, which is great. Unfortunately, the long-anticipated return of Paul the bartender, which was scheduled for this evening, has to be postponed to a later event.
Dun dun dun.
But what we do have is one of the great supporters of Live from the Dutch Hall history. Derek the Beaver Van Heughten is in the house.
Yeah.
I'm two-time President's Club Award winner Pete Van Dyke, and we have a great unveiling. You can see underneath this curtain that lies behind me is the greatest invention in the Dutch Hall history.
It's special.
It is so special. I think it's going to change the show forever. I can't wait to show it to you, but there's only one way to get this thing started. You know what that is, Beaver?
Yeah, it's the good old theme song. Hit it. There it is.
Not bad. It was a little late.
Yeah, there it is. Woo!
Yes, welcome everybody to Welcome everybody to Live from the Dutch Hall. I'm your host, Pete Van Dyke. We're back here in the pool shed. We're the greatest podcast ever to come out of a pool shed in Pine Grove, Ontario, bar none.
Bar none.
And thank you to the Nocturnal Emissions for the wonderful theme song. We couldn't do it without give it the Nocturnal.
Yeah, there it is. Right on.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Good start.
All right, cut it, guys. Come on. So one of the things that we should address right off the hop is that we are breaking the law, I suppose.
Yeah, we're heavily breaking the law.
I think so, but I don't know because technically, Beaver, my kids set me straight on this. I was struggling because Kevin Van Dungen, he's usually here. He's behind the board. He's been a stalwart in season 8. I think he's been here every week.
He's been a staple.
A staple. That's a great word.
Yeah.
Man, oh man, I always get burpy right at the beginning of the show.
Bit. It gets out of you, though.
It's the cheese plate or
the
meat tray.
The good old salami's get you there.
Well, we got, anyways, we had, what was I saying?
Good old Kev.
Kev couldn't come because he has a real job.
He's under strict orders to comply.
We got an Amber Alert saying it's a stay-at-home order and you got to do it. And I don't want to break any health rules. I really don't. I understand people work in hospitals and if they get overwhelmed and all that stuff. I understand all that stuff. But I'm also like what they call pandemic fatigue. Have you heard of that one?
Yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah. That's
not to say we are currently abiding by COVID standard. We've got a nice safe distance.
Yeah.
I would say that currently over the last 3 months, I could count myself kind of in your bubble.
Well, yeah,
a weekly one.
Yeah, I'd see you about once a week. I see no people.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's one thing that sets my mind at ease is that I see no people. And even when I do see them, there's usually a distance between me and the people. I'm not licking anybody. I stopped that a year ago.
You're like you said, the fatigue is there, but you're still being as safe as you can, abiding by rules. But yeah, we're probably not supposed to be here right now.
No. Well, this is what my kid told me.
As per Mr. Ford.
Because one of the essential services is entertainment. I mean, we have to entertain these people while they're at home.
Right.
Right? So we're kind of doing essential service here, Beaver.
Yeah.
That's kind of where I look at it. And then my daughter said,
all around the world,
health care is allowed to happen too. And she says, you provide a mental health service to people. She says, and I know one of those people is me. Because if I don't do the show, then I have nothing to do. Then I go crazy because I don't see any people at all.
Well, I was going to say, Pete, this is kind of like personal therapy for myself, I find.
Yeah, because you get busy with your life. You know what you got to do to live your life, and then, but after every once in a while, it's nice to like just have interaction, conversation,
have a nice unwind.
Yeah, just a nice unwind.
Yeah, exactly.
Catch up with an old friend, and you do it safely. You're not, we're not, and even if we did both give each other COVID tonight, we're gonna spread it to like
nobody,
like a couple people, like maybe our wives. My wife's vaccinated. I couldn't even spread it to her.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah. So that's what I mean. Like, I don't know. I'm kind of done with it. I kind of weigh the mental health benefit of like cooping myself up anymore, or
is worse
versus just getting the antibodies by getting sick.
Right.
You know, like I'm almost like, just give it to me. I'm willing to take my chances just to get the antibodies.
And I think if we did a poll of the county, I think everybody'd kind of be everybody would be in the same boat.
Yeah, you think so?
I think so.
Especially in places where it's been pretty under control.
Right. Now, don't get me wrong. There's those certain you gotta when the conversation arises, which it does every day on an hourly basis to people over the phone. You gotta take it in strides because certain people are very sensitive to it. Nothing against that. That is
no.
Personal opinion is always. I always welcome personal opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to. That's how you got to talk now.
Right.
You want to know why? Because everybody goes like because you don't know who you're dealing with ever when you're talking, and there's some people who are like on the internet all the time, and they're just taking whatever message that they heard and they're hearing it repeated over and over again. Whatever side you're on. Like
right.
If you're on this whole thing is a hoax, or you're on, listen to what the
people are
saying
yeah.
and do exactly what the officials are telling you because these are the people you have to trust. And whatever side you're on that, if you're inundating yourself with that side over and over and over again and you get crazy about it, and then you meet up with a person who's just kind of like, I'm just trying to, like make adjustments, be safe, like, minimize my risk.
Right, which is where I think me and you are.
Yeah, like it's like
me and you both, I think, are under the facts that there is something wrong in the world. We both know it.
Yeah. People
are getting very sick, and certain people are dying from it. But I'm in no doubt of that. But some of these scenarios, like there's a lot of people out there that just want to hear bad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
and no matter what. Eventually, they're going to get to the point, the public health officials, right? Because they were kind of wrong at the beginning.
Right.
Like they were kind of downplaying it a bit. And then all of a sudden, they realize, oh shit, like this is a real thing.
Real deal.
And then they got to be like err on the side of caution no matter what. Like, so, there'll come a time, it's not now.
Right.
But like, in the future where they're still going to be playing the safe game and it's no longer time to do that.
Oh, yeah. Society's going to have a hard time transitioning back to any kind of normal.
I mean, I look at what's happening in the States right now, and there's a lot of places that seem like they're, because of the vaccine rollout that they have.
Oh, yeah. There's beaches in places in the States that are like full tilt party mode.
And I think any adult in the States can get a vaccine.
Right. Like, I'm pretty sure if we went to spring break in the States right now, or like Mardi Gras, or like, what else is there? Any of the certain southern states, you could go to a good party right about now. Whereas here,
yeah,
it's like ghost town.
Well, even for stand-up comedy, like, I mean, we're locked down for another month. I was supposed to do a show in Oshawa, and it was finally like a headlining gig, a paid show that I get to do, and it's not going to happen because of this. And this was like still playing to like a room that they only allowed, I think, 30 people in or something. Like,
well, and Pete, you guys have been patient, man. You guys have weathered storm after storm after storm. You get your hopes up. First, you're defeated time after time with these cancellations and, appeasing new rules. So you got to,
it's hard. It's hard.
A comic, all they care about is getting people's opinion and hearing applause or hearing audiences. That's the part of the game, and it's now permanently almost been wiped away from you.
Well, during this pandemic, I've had tons of time to think. You
could probably put one hell of a show on right now.
And I've written so much stuff. I started writing material and then finally found a room that I could actually work at.
Right.
It was just an open mic room, but I could go once a week and I could develop. It was 2 weeks in, and then this happens, and then you're just like getting excited about really getting this stuff, seeing if it works,
right?
Even if you're just playing to a small a room of other comics, at least you're hearing yourself say it out loud. You can hear the parts that pop and stuff.
Yeah, that and you get that buzz, which is what you guys, you're always, aching for, is that buzz of the room.
Yeah, because the words on the page, they'll always you can always put a laugh track in it in your head.
Right. It'll always make sense in your head.
Yeah. But it's in real life, when that laugh track, when it really misses, then you're like, okay, that's a stinker.
Well, and I was told once too by a comic, or I watched it on a show, and he was right. He's like, my material isn't really a good read. If you put my stuff in the paper word for word, it wouldn't be a good read.
No.
You kind of need the chuckle and the hype and the voice to make it real.
Yeah, you have to understand the context. The facial expressions, what context is it set in?
Right. It's no different than an athlete who needs an audience to kind of pump his game up.
Sarcasm doesn't read very well.
No, exactly.
No. Yeah. It is. That's true of almost anything.
Right.
This podcast, if you had the transcript of this podcast, which
yeah,
I think there is. You can get subtitles and stuff.
Oh, really?
Transcripts,
that's cool.
On YouTube. And it's I imagine it would be horrible.
Well, there'd be a lot of bracketry. There, how on subtitled shows, there's a lot of brackets. This person do it. There'd be a lot of brackets of interpretation, because that's all. Everything's how you interpret it here.
Yeah. Well, and I think sometimes we use words that aren't real.
Right. Oh, yeah, I bet for sure.
So I wonder if they come up.
There's Norfolk County words, a lot of them around here, in this place.
Yeah, and some of the stuff we say is just complete horseshit. Too.
Yeah, which is okay.
By the way, I'm gonna give a shout out to Dan Brennan.
Okay.
Dan Brennan has a podcast that he had me on today.
Oh, cool.
I don't know when it's going to be coming out, but I'll keep you abreast of it. It's called the What Would You Do podcast. I think he's going to be putting it out on YouTube, actually, but stay tuned for that. And I did an episode of that where he gives you a scenario what happens on it's like he wants to give comics a shortcut to so they don't have to learn the hard lessons that we have to by going out every night and getting our asses kicked.
Yeah, he gives you a little play on storyline.
So he thinks if he tells me gives me a scenario and has me, a guy that's done a few sets, tells the young comics what he would do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to undo my button there. That's nice. That's a whole other show, Beaver. I just undid my top. I just undid my top button. Oh, that feels.
The cheese and crackers are getting to you.
Oh yeah, I think I just got to relax.
Just a whole new person there, eh?
One little belt loop. Eh? Just
That's all it takes.
it.
That's all it takes.
Made my life a lot different. Oh,
you gotta do that after supper sometimes.
Yeah. Anyways,
so good old Dano here. He was setting the scene for you.
Yeah, he says that. So he sets a scene and he tells you something that happens on stage, and you have to react to it. In my case, it was. I don't know if I should give it away, but no, I will. I'll say it's like a cow. I'm doing a show, and a cow comes into the building.
Really?
Yeah, that's a synopsis, a brief synopsis.
That's a heavy hitter right there, a cow.
Yeah, and then I tell the young comics what you got to do in order to deal with a cow in the audience.
Really?
Especially a belligerent cow. Like most cows are terrible audience members. They don't get most.
No, they're dry.
They're stupid.
Yeah,
they're dumb. If I was like this, I know a cow's dumb. A cow's huge, right?
Yeah.
And they're the easiest thing to control. You just tell them what to do, right?
Tell them what to do. Smack them around.
Yeah, you just smack them around. They're easy, you know? Like even a horse, they're hard to control, aren't they?
Yeah.
I think there's going to be a real farmer, like a cattle guy, maybe call or like hear this and be mad at me, saying you don't know anything what you're talking about.
No, I rode a horse one time at a buddy's place. Like not like the horse farm where they all line up in a row and they're like, you know, they're like dead to the world. They walk like they've been drugged.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But my buddy's place, I jumped on the horse thinking I knew what I was going to do. I could do it. And my buddy's like, man, you got to tell that.
No instruction?
Minor instruction. The main instruction is you better tell that horse what to do. Because otherwise he will do what he wants.
Oh, yeah.
And don't tighten your legs. Like, you know your instinct when you're sitting on a horse is just grip the thing?
Yeah.
Well, grip it means take off.
Oh.
So, like, you know when it starts galloping and you're like, oh, fuck, and you just tighten up? Well, you can't. Oh, well, as far as this horse was walking, you weren't supposed to do that because it just fucking take off.
Yeah.
So it was a little nerve-wracking because you got to sit on there loose.
It's on a with a saddle on it?
Yeah, on a saddle.
With a horn?
What do you mean with a horn?
Like to have the thing on the front?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's just your instinct is to tighten your feet up, right?
Yeah.
And my buddy's like, don't do that. And I kept on having to grab the reins. Well, like you're a ex-equestrian, so
I like to do I was in the walk and jog category, and
so you had to be in control.
Yeah. I knew I had to like make it walk and jog and go in reverse. I can make it go in reverse.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But then there was another thing. So this is how it worked. I was a kid, right? So I was only like 12 or something. So there was like you would do walk and jog. So you'd have to walk, jog, and get to go back up at the end. The judge would come over and say, back it up.
So like 10 steps back kind of thing?
Yeah. 5 steps maybe only. And 5, 10.
It just showed that
you know how to control the horse.
Yeah.
And get it to stop and stuff. That's important to get it to stop.
Yeah.
And then the next step up was you go to lope. You add in a lope.
What's that?
Which is it's kind of like a gallop.
Okay.
But we had paint horses or whatever, and they would lope. So it was like a kind of a blip, blip, blip.
Oh, okay.
Like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like it was like an up and down, kind of like a skip, kind of.
Yeah.
But it was kind of like a run, but like a prancy run.
Okay.
And anyways, that scared the shit out of me. I drew the line at that. I said no loping for me.
No loping anymore.
Though if I was I would do barrels, like to do barrels, you know.
Yeah, that's not easy, is it?
No. I wasn't good at it, and I did. I only did the. I think I might have told the story. I'll tell it again because I'm going to lead right into it anyways. Because when I was 12 years old, okay, so there was this thing called.
So you're not a young man yet.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm like in that weird, awkward, awkward phase. I'm just going through puberty. You know,
the voice is high and low.
Yeah, I'm just like a peach fuzz mustache. You know, like just starting to stretch out. You know.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's a 12 and under category. 12 and under.
So you're like a veteran in this category.
So the way my dad looked at it, I'm going to clean up in this event.
Yeah.
Like, there's no question.
Your dad's all pumped.
Yeah. He's like, there's no reason you can't win this. It's
right.
Like, and it's lead line barrels. So you got to go. My dad's holding the horse. In addition to his bridle, he's got like he's got
the
lead line on
the
him.
main kind of, or yeah.
Or, he's got like a harness on there.
Okay,
so that the father can, or the mother can lead the horse around, and the kid just sits on top of the horse and rides it basically. And the dad runs around the barrels with the.
Oh, really? So you guide your dad on a nice run, eh?
Yeah, and like he's saying, like all you gotta do is hang on. I'm gonna like boot it. and I'm literally competing against like the littlest kids. Like this is the first events that you would put your children in. So these are like, you got 5-year-olds, you got like 8-year-olds, all the ages like up to 12.
But your old man's like, I'm gonna rip this horse through this course.
Right, you're gonna like dominate, right?
Yeah.
We did the whole circuit, right?
Yeah.
We like went around to different horse shows, and I would just clean up. Like it was.
So your dad had to be in some good shape to do this, yanking the horse around.
Honestly, that's the part of the story that when I tell it, I don't even know if it's real because I'm not.
We can't see your dad.
I can't remember him running. Like I only remember him running once when he was getting stung by bees.
Oh, really? Like I can't picture. I can picture your dad being real pumped about it, but I can't see him yanking you and the horse around.
Not to mention, it wasn't just me; it was me and my sister. Because my younger sister Lisa, who's 5 years younger than me,
so he had to do 2 rounds of this.
He would do 2 rounds of it. Like he was, and then
So who had to go second? Because he's probably gassed by the second time, right?
well, I think that it was set up that I would go first, and then
because he's like, Pete's gonna win. Pete's gonna win.
Right, because he knew that like he would take it easy a little bit for Lisa.
Yeah, I'll throw Lisa on the podium, but
she's younger, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but I remember the one time because Lisa had no fear. That's the thing. Lisa had no fear.
Oh.
I was scared to death,
and she was just like, "Rip, let's go,
let's go." So in the very last event of the year, she ended up getting first place, and I got second.
Oh, really?
And I remember like in the podium lineup, you know, where she's on the top podium and I'm sitting on the second one, and I'm still way above her because I'm way tall.
You're about same. Oh, really?
Yeah, because like and then even at the end of the year banquet, you know, I won the overall championship, but I'm like a foot and a half taller than the second place, which the second place I think was my sister.
Oh,
know?
Really?
It's like this was not like a happy moment. Like, don't take any pictures. Like, this is a jaded victory.
It was like a hidden, like, just give it to me and let me walk away.
It was like taking karate and like beating up children because you both have white belts.
Right.
You know, like it was what it kind of felt like.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
It was awful. Like I'm competing against like little tiny kids.
But you what's funny is in this scenario, what you're talking about is growing up, I was always the little kid.
Oh yeah, but
I was always the one that was like at the end of the line. You
couldn't lose though.
No,
the little guy. Right?
No, because you were last before you were to start. You were
like,
always considered last before the situation started.
There was no expectations.
No.
So then everything you did was like, wow, you know.
Like they talked about discriminating these days. Like when I was a kid. Every year of my life, we used to line up at school, tallest to shortest.
Oh, really?
Like, you're talking discriminating. Like, I was just like, all right, I'll just go to the back of the line. And you know what was lucky? Is I always had this one kid in my class I was always second last.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. He was like about a half inch shorter than me. I made sure he knew. Like, you're fucking going last.
Small victories, eh?
Oh, yeah. Small victories.
Yeah, but you know what? I have a theory about you, Beaver. My theory about you is that because normally little guys got like that little guy energy, like where it's like kind of like where they're kind of like overcompensating, and they're kind of like acting like a big shot, but they're you know just to compensate for it. But you don't have that. Like you don't really have that.
No, I was kind of always I was kind of pretty humble about it. Like see what I would always do is I would play my own. I would play like I'd maneuver through situations the way people wouldn't even expect it. Like you know, like those scenarios of growing up when you're on a sports team and like that initiation day for the rookies.
Yeah.
Well, I kind of whittled my way into like I was a rookie one year or many years, and I would be initiating the rookies
as a rookie. You're
I would
wily or something.
Well, I'd finagle my way in, and like hockey, you make the
your stealth, eh?
Yeah, I would just kind of sneak in, and the next thing you know, at the end of the day, I'd be like, "Oh, that kind of sucked, eh?" And meanwhile, I never got initiated.
That's kind of how it was at my one job, where our head office was in Regina, right?
Yeah,
and I worked there for like 15 years, and they kept saying they're going to send me to Regina. And I kept saying, I'm not going there. And then they go, what do you mean? They kept saying, you have to go. Like they go,
like everybody does.
Yeah, as soon as you get hired here, they send you there. I go, not when they hired me. Like,
you just kind of set your own precedence.
I think they were switching CEOs or something. Like the new CEO.
So you did have a touch of luck.
The same day as me, so I didn't have to go. So then they kept saying, well, we'll find a reason for you to go. We'll find a reason for you to go. And then I kept saying that. People have been saying it for years. It became a taunt for me. I would do it to them on purpose, like to taunt them. like to say,
You just fuck with them. Be like,
you'll
oh,
never send me, and I'll never go. You
Yeah.
know, that's what I'd say. Stuff
you'd
like
be
that.
like, watch me. I'll never go.
Yeah, it became a sticking point for me.
That's awesome.
And I never did.
Because who would want to go to Regina?
I don't think anyone goes on purpose.
No, I can't see there be any reason to go to Regina at all.
We have like 1 or 2 listeners in Saskatchewan from time to time, but I don't think there are regular listeners in there. So I think I can feel free to say Saskatchewan. I have no ambition ever to go there ever in my life.
Like, I've never talked to somebody that was like, I want to go to Saskatchewan. Everybody's like, I want to go through Saskatchewan to get to Alberta or to get to Vancouver.
Yeah. And they just say it was like flat, and it was like it took. But the city, maybe the city of Regina's got something going on. Or
Maybe. I've never been out that way. My wife's been all out west. She said it's fucking awesome.
She likes it out there.
She loves it out there.
I've been.
Thank God she didn't stay there. I wouldn't have met her. But
the only 2 provinces in Canada I haven't visited have been Saskatchewan. So I'm talking ignorantly out my ass about Saskatchewan. And
me too. I have no idea.
And I've never been to Alberta except for the airport.
Okay.
I've just been in Calgary Airport, but I've never left the airport in Alberta. But every other province I've been to, and then none of the territories yet.
No?
No. But
I can't see a reason to go there either.
Oh man, I'd love to go. I'd like to go everywhere, especially if I could do shows. It'd be awesome.
Oh yeah. That could be cool.
But all the northern territories really are interesting to go to for me. You
would go to Nunavut?
Yeah.
Really?
I would love to. That'd be great. Those audiences would be the best too, because they'd be so appreciative of going.
You're right.
Someone that took a trip.
They're just happy to live, I think.
I would love to do that stuff, man. Yeah. The one thing when this is all said and done, when this is all over with, this bullshit, I'm going everywhere, like everywhere I can.
And I know why you're hot on that topic, because you never know when that. Well, we know now that we can't right now, and if we can at one point, it might be fucking taken away from us again.
Yeah, you don't know. You don't know what the future brings. Like when you get an opportunity to do something, do it.
I do appreciate every day more now than I did before.
Oh, yeah? You think so?
Yeah. I may have probably took it for granted a little bit. Being able to do whatever I wanted to do.
Yeah.
Because now we just can't. And even if you force it, the experience is not the same as it was.
Well, that's what I said to Dan Brennan today when I was talking to him. I said, I think we're in for like a great renaissance. Like when this is all over and people are allowed to start going to events and stuff again, it's going to be unbelievable. The demand's going to be through the roof for those type of things.
Oh yeah, I think so.
And I think that that the amount of people who have these things that they've been writing, the songs that they've been writing, like all the comics that have been writing jokes, like all the performers that are just been aching to perform and stuff like that. The stuff that's going to come out of this is going to be like some of the best art in the history of the world.
Right.
And I think the appetite for it of the general public is going to be huge.
Like there'll be no heckling. I think in comedy will disappear because the appreciation to just be there should be.
Yeah, but there's always going to be people that don't get it.
Yeah, there's always haters.
There's people that honestly believe with all their. You can't convince them otherwise. I have actually one of these people in my family, and they believe that the heckling is part of the show, and they feel like they're appreciated for bringing that.
Really?
Yeah. And
wow.
there's a
perspective.
There's a disorder that is. I just don't know what it's called or anything like that, but I can see it with the. I had no idea I had one of them in my family until I saw the person do it. And then when I was just like, I couldn't believe it,
Yeah.
And then I tried talking to him, just to say, what the heck,
Yeah.
And they go, they were like bragging about all the times they've done it at all the shows they've gone to.
Really?
Yeah. They went right up on stage. Like they were like grabbing the comics mic and stuff. Like they really thought it was about them. And you're like, whoa.
That is literally the point right there. Yeah. They think it's literally about them because, fuck, I can't imagine doing that.
Yeah.
I have so much appreciation for the industry.
Yeah. So, it's nice. That's what's nice about doing when you do a club, and people are generally when you're performing at a club, the people went there to see comedy, and you're getting,
It's the 1%ers.
Also, if it's a paid show and you buy a ticket,
Right.
like the people generally, it's the dates. You have to wonder about the bring-alongs,
Yeah.
like the ones
The
that are
forced.
like, yeah, I'm sure I'll go, and then they don't never even think about comedy and stuff.
Or I'll try it. I've never done it before, so I'll try it.
It's a weird thing though. Like no other job do people feel comfortable telling you, like to your like yelling at you that they don't like the job you're doing.
Yeah, and have no problems or remorse about it.
And they get angry if you're not doing one of the hardest things there is to do.
Oh, Pete, you've probably ruined many people's day, and it doesn't make sense how that's even possible.
Oh man, I would see people at free shows critique the work, the stuff I'm doing, and I'm like, what the fuck do you expect?
Yeah.
I
came all the way out here to watch a free show, and I want it done my way. It's like, what?
Yeah. We had one guy, he was like that. He was like, you guys aren't even telling jokes. I don't know what you're doing, but they're not jokes. That's not how jokes are told. Like, these aren't jokes. So then the host said, come on up, buddy. Like, go ahead. You have your time. Tell us jokes.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And,
call them out on it. That's good. I like that style.
And he went up and he did, to the guy's credit, he went up and he told his jokes. He told street jokes. They're just like, typical old street jokes, like
what? Why the fucking chicken cross the road or what?
Kind of like that sort of thing, like just like a guy walks into a bar and the bartender says,
"Sounds like this guy was high on the horse, though."
Yeah, well, the crowd was a bunch of comics who are not generally that impressed by those sorts of jokes,
right?
So then when he did his set and got crickets to every one of these things,
oh shit,
he started to lose confidence in his next one that he had to tell, but. Again, to his credit, he
still told it.
But at the end of it all, he said that wasn't what that was harder than I expected. Is what he said.
Really?
He goes, I just thought you guys would all laugh at that stuff, but he would have to be awesome for us to laugh at him, because he had already been such a dick.
Right. So he had the staple of I'm an asshole, and you're going to listen to what I got to say.
Yeah.
Already.
Yeah. Jokes are the most important thing, but
still, I give
it's not the only thing.
The comedy industry I give so much credit to, because it's something you can be great at any time of the year until that mic's in front of you. Man, it takes confidence like unbeknownst to anybody.
Yeah, the craziest part about it is that you don't feel confident ever, or I guess so. Like beforehand, you don't feel confident really. Like I don't, at least, and then. On stage, I feel completely comfortable. Like I don't feel at all like
you're in the zone. Yeah.
Beforehand, I'm nervous, but while I'm on stage, it's like it's calm. And then when you get off, then it's kind of like you're kind of like occupied, kind of dissecting it.
Do you prefer that bright light in your face when you're up there, or do you prefer like to be able to see people?
No, I like to see the people.
You like to see people?
Yeah, I think it's a disadvantage to not see them,
because you always see the odd comic who like he'll say something to the audience and he'll be like, I'm staring at a fucking bright light, I can't see you, and they're like 10 feet in front of them, right? But
yeah, like there's a lot of clubs like that, and I would always stand in front of the light so that I could see the people. Like I would like dodge the spotlight.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And that was like
change your angle, kind of.
Apparently, that was a real rookie move, I was told.
Really?
Like you're supposed to, yeah. The light's there so that everyone can see you. If you go so that you can see the people, they can't see you.
And I can see that in your performances. I'm guessing it's when you do the odd lean forward. I've noticed you when you're doing.
Like if I wanted to do crowd work, I would just duck underneath the light so I could see the people. Because I like to talk to the people a lot. Because you can tell a joke. I don't know how to say. You can tell a joke that's like. It's a joke you've told 100 times. It's how every piece of it goes, and you can just start it and tell it, and that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Or you could know that it's about like being married, and then you just like see a married couple, and then you start talking to a married couple and lead into the joke.
Yeah, you're looking for a reaction,
and then it kind of seems like it's not a written joke, but it's just it became conversational.
Yeah.
And then you get like, even if people do end up eventually realizing that it's a rehearsed bit that you led into, they still give it more credit because it seems more confrontational rather than performance.
Right.
Because if it seems at all made up on the spot, people go apeshit for it.
Right, because then it doesn't. The word script is out of their head.
Yeah, last time I did a show at Showtime in St. Catharines.
Mm-hmm.
I realized that if you didn't start a joke by doing the crowd work to lead into it, the crowd hated your joke.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they wanted only crowd work. They only wanted crowd work. They didn't want any.
That's
bits.
probably tough to pick up on right away too.
It could have just been that crowd.
Yeah.
You know? But
Or your interpretation of that crowd.
And the host is really good at crowd work, and so he started off the show with really good crowd work, and then I think they got an expectation of it.
It stuck on them. Yeah. Oh, cool.
They're like, I like that better than what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
So then do more of what that other guy did.
Cool.
That was kind of what it was.
Mm-hmm.
So I blame it on Moses because he was too good that night.
too good a host.
Yeah, he was good. Anyways, I have to get to a segment that we call feedback.
Feedback.
We got feedback.
We got feedback. It's motherfucking feedback.
Oh, welcome to feedback. We got feedback. This week's episode is brought to you, as always, by our friends at Amazon. They're not really our friends. They're just someone we signed up for to get a link so that if you go to our website and then click on our Amazon banner and do your regular Amazon purchases, we get a little bit of that money. And once in a while, they give us a check. Maybe a few times a year, we get like a check, and that's nice because we can buy some shit. And
Do you still got that first bill you ever got from them?
My
I remember
stub.
I remember you had it framed.
I think I don't know where it is anymore. No, I probably don't. But I wouldn't be surprised if it's behind one of these panels somewhere. Like there's a bunch of Easter eggs that I've just put shit over top of over the years. But I do not remember. I know I still somewhere I have the first 10 I ever made.
I was gonna say I remember seeing the $10 bill.
Yeah, that first 10 I ever made in telling jokes. That was really cool. That first day I got paid that $10 for telling jokes. It was
that's fucking awesome.
Yeah, that was like that was the best $10 I ever made. Like I was just real proud going with $10.
The fact that too that you kept it.
Yeah,
I thought that was cool.
Yeah, because it's like I know how that's a well earned 10. Like I knew the amount of work that I did to get that first 10.
Right.
And it's like that was like the least I got paid per hour in my entire life.
but when there's that first time where there's value for what you've done.
Yeah, well that's the goal, and it's like
it's
an impossible goal because you're asking someone to pay you for something that people do all the time for free anyway.
Right.
Like just talk and make a person laugh. Like everybody does that.
Yeah, exactly.
So like. It is kind of a crazy thing to think you can try to do. So it was really, I love that 10, but I gotta find it though. Maybe it's at the old, at the church. So, anyways, we have to get into feedback. We got feedback.
What are the old listeners saying?
Oh well, I remember we talked about Emil Van Steeg, from Australia, our Australian listener.
Yeah,
and. Emil, by the way, Charters, we try to get Charters on the call for the big unveiling. I thought because he's a big fan of the show and he's a big part of the show, I should say.
Throw him a bone.
Really important. I thought maybe you'd like to see this. But he said he passed, and he said another time. But I will make sure to show him the link of this. But anyways, I digress. Let's go back to Emil, or Emil. I don't know which one it is. I forget all the time.
The Aussie version.
Yeah, I'm probably saying it wrong no matter how I'm supposed to say it. But anyways, I got a message from him because we were going on. I don't remember which show it was, but probably the last one. We started going on a little bit of rant. I said, why don't all the listeners in Australia, there's only like 4 of them or something, maybe 8, I don't know. But it's like for the size of the country, it's like a special group,
Right.
And then we started just shooting the shit, like just talking. And then I don't know exactly what was said because I don't listen back all the time.
Right.
And then he sent me this message, and he goes, not sure how it got to us hosting an Aussie Dutch Hall orgy.
Oh.
with the crew in yellow coats. And I'm like, that one I don't remember. I'm gonna have to listen back to that.
Oh, wow.
To really, but I think we had like it was like the gathering of the Juggalos. You know,
Yeah.
we would have the gathering of the Dutch Hollios or something. But I don't remember the orgy part. Maybe he added that.
Maybe he added it.
Maybe he thought, you know what, this party could use a little orgy.
Little orgy in coats.
Throw some orgy in.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, you're not going to get us there in coats without that $100 of cold hard cash. But we will take Australian dollars too for that $100.
It's worth enough, isn't it?
I don't care. It's worth enough to me. It is.
Yeah.
Plus all of our expenses, which will be dear. Believe me.
I think Australia is so warm. I don't think you'll need the coats.
I know. Anyways,
Just paint it on your bodies.
Glad I didn't listen with the wife. She loves it when you talk about the weird stuff that we Dutch do that nobody understands. Do you know?
Oh, shit.
Do you have anything, Beav, off the top of your head that Dutch people do that's weird that other people don't get? You know how
Wow, that's a real kicker.
yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder because if this guy's Australian Dutch, right? Like you said, and I wonder if like you know how when you're when
I've never heard of Australian Dutch.
You know when people were like explain shit to you and you're like yeah.
That is a Dutch thing. Heavy.
Heavy yeah.
Yeah.
You do hear that a lot.
Yeah.
And
And then when they say shh, everything's a shush.
And they also always seem like they're angrier than they actually are.
Yeah. But that's kind of like a European culture though, is it not? Or
I don't know. I think we're more severe. I think Dutch people are more severe.
yeah, I'd say that.
Or more serious or something. I don't know what it is. Anyways, I like Emil because he sends us he teaches us about what life's like in different parts of the world. Anyways, he goes here.
Good for a nice educational bit here.
So we were also talking about how they use the word cunt over there.
Yeah, heavy.
Heavy, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, yes, we often call people cunts. A good cunt is an all right bloke. A tight arse cunt would explain most Dutchmen.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Tight arse cunt. So, yeah, they're talking about cheap.
Being tight ass, too. Like, just being a little bit, like, particular about the way you have things.
Yeah.
Want things. That's very...
Yeah, I'd agree with him on that one.
Yeah, tight ass cunt. That's about it, a Dutchman. And a proper cunt is like your friend. It's like a mate, he says.
So cunt is just like how we use the word fuck.
No.
It's just a run-on word.
It's like, but it's still like you don't call your buddy a fuck, you know?
No, what I mean is how we use the word fuck in context. It's how they use the word cunt in context.
Yeah.
It's just kind of
multi-purpose.
It's just There's no definitive definition on.
Yeah, like shit too. Your buddy can be a good shit, or you can call him a good shit.
Yeah.
You know? And but this a proper cunt's a friend, and then now you're going to enjoy the next show. Saying, now I'm going to enjoy saying cunt all the time. Yeah, I do enjoy saying. This is the part. Like I feel totally within. I'm not doing anything wrong because I'm saying cunt because he brought up this cunt subject, and then I get to say like this 1,000 times, just cunt.
Well, he's now giving us the green light.
Hey. Clunder's watching, and Kevin Van Dunge is also watching.
All right, on. Hey, Kev.
Yeah.
Hey, Kev.
That's nice. Anyways, big unveiling tonight.
Big Leaf win last night.
Now you're going to enjoy the next show, saying cunt all the time. Why the fuck would we want those New Zealanders? There's a lot of those cunts in here in Oz already.
I'm guessing. I'm sensing a little hostility. There's a little bit of a, like us, what Canada is to the United States. I'm guessing Australia is to New Zealand. Like there's that little internal competition. Am I right with that or no?
Well, the closest neighbor though. So I think that there would be probably a lot of like New Zealand people that would go to Australia because there'd be more opportunity. Like we go to the United States for more opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes on to say, if you watch Once We're Warriors, you ever see that movie? Once We're Warriors.
No, I've never seen that.
You'd know not to fuck with the Maori.
What the fuck?
Like
is
the tribal New Zealanders, you know, like they're they're kind of like Samoan or whatever.
The native, yeah. The native New Zealanders.
Yeah, they're like kick-ass warriors.
So they do like the screaming chant before a fight kind of thing. You know, you see that on TV. like the Hawaiian people do.
Yeah. They do that thing where they slap their legs and stuff.
Yeah, and slap their arms and chest and
Yeah, it's pretty boss.
scream at. Yeah, it is.
Yeah. And then those guys like, you know what else I like about those guys? New Zealanders, I should say. When I was in England,
Yeah.
I would meet a whole bunch of Australian people and New Zealand people because they always like do these walkabout things.
Okay.
And sometimes you would mistake New Zealand, like a Kiwi, for an Australian, and they would get kind of ticked off, like when we would be mistaken for American, you know?
Yeah, but we don't get ticked off.
Kind of. When they say when you're like out just having a conversation, they say, "Shut your fucking mouth, you yank bastard."
Yeah.
And they're especially like you go to England and Ireland, and they hear your accent, they just assume I'm American. They treat me like shit.
No, that's true.
Everyone treats Americans like shit.
Yeah.
That's the reason why Canadians actually have sympathy for the Americans, because we sound like them and look like them a lot of times.
And we feel bad for them.
And when we go abroad, we get treated like them a lot.
Yeah.
When I got beat up by that cop in Anagata, he thought I was American. He kept saying, "You're not in the States anymore, boy."
So you got an extra right hook because he thought you were American.
Wow, he never punched me. He pushed me to the ground a bunch of times.
That'd piss me
But
off.
it was still, especially I was all bandaged up. I had bandages over my face. It looked ridiculous.
Really?
Yeah, I was like
aggressively.
injured. Yeah. Anyways, he was,
Uncalled for.
yeah. Anyways, no big deal.
Yeah, no big deal.
Hey, feedback. What do we got?
Back to
here?
the old feedback.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I do love hearing though. Back to the I do love hearing about Aussie, like Australian people,
Yeah, me too.
because I don't know anything that goes on there.
The main reason, I think, if Emil can pull off this orgy at his farm,
Yeah,
then I think they're going to be building a group. They're going to be building a culture there in
I
Australia.
think so too.
Next thing you know, we're going to be huge,
Yeah,
and then we're taking a trip.
let's hear more about you, Emil. We want to go down there.
Yeah. So thank you very much, Emil. You know what? I might do something unprecedented here because it's such a special night with this great unveiling that we have right now. I think we'll do it right.
Might as well.
So close now. But because of this, I'm going to name Emil Van Steeg our very first and second ever, but our very first International Diamond Club member.
Right on. There it is.
What is that? Let's hear it for Emil.
Yeah, right on,
Our
buddy.
very first International Diamond Club member. He is going to be knowing that I have nothing for you right now.
Yeah.
Nothing at all.
But
But the idea that you're recognized puts you in great company.
And we like your commitment.
Yeah. And we love having the international person listening. And now, without further ado,
Let's see it.
I would like to present to you.
I'm so excited.
If you look down in the corner of your screen, I don't know how to point at this so that you can see it, but right there in the corner of your screen, you're going to see there's a covered up object. This object, for me, has been I've been toiling away at it for some time. You know, I've tore apart old appliances. I have literally, I've invested $0 of my own money. I haven't gone to the store for anything. This is all shit I found lying around.
It's a heavy thrift scenario.
This is just scrounged up shit. But what I did was I saw a problem. I saw a problem with this pandemic and what it did to our program, you know? And one of the things, the heart and soul, one of the things, a big chunk of this show is Dave Charters.
Yeah.
Dave the Rooster Charters. And I'll tell you, Charters, he was our very first guest. He was our very first. He was the man that writes the music for the show.
You could say he was on the board of directors.
Yeah, he was the original. He himself was the Nocturnal Emissions at one point in time. Just one.
Yeah.
Started with Charters. You know?
Singular.
We've ribbed on the guy. We've set him up and put him in ridiculous scenarios. He's always just rolled with the punches. He's been a great sport. And I miss him dearly on the show. And I just, in real life, like to visit with him on a regular basis. I don't get to do that. And so what I really noticed that his presence on our program was missed.
Yeah.
Was missed. And I tried things in the past to replace him. I had the Charters blow-up doll. I don't know if you remember the Charters blow-up doll.
I do remember that.
It was the ugliest woman I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And then We also, I think you can see back there, I don't know if it's in the shot, but there's a Charter's puppet that is peering out behind the curtain there. But the problem with him is that he needs to have a certain type of man's hand up his ass, or he doesn't say shit back there.
Right. It's kind of it's a duo scenario.
Yeah, he's a bit quiet. So I had multiple problems. I was like, I don't have any of these replacements. Something's missing. It just isn't doing what it's supposed to be doing. So I'm going to actually have to get off the microphone right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I was hoping, Beaver, if you could,
Yep.
Could you provide some sort of a drum roll type of a thing? Can you bang on anything or do something like that? And I'll see if I can get this thing unveiled.
I don't know if I should. No.
What are you going to get it on the? Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, that'll work here.
All right. Let me get the ashtray out of the way.
Let's see if we can do this.
All right. Drum roll.
Here he is, ladies and gentlemen.
And there it is. Holy shit.
Charter's robot, everybody. Charter's robot.
That is something else. He's even got a hat.
Charter's robot. Thank you very much. Charter's robot. Was it hard for you to sit under that blanket this whole time and stay so quiet?
No.
Oh, right on.
Yeah. Yeah. You look. You like. I don't know what to say to him. I'm kind of flabbergasted. I'm just so happy to have him.
I'm at a loss for words. Is that his real hair?
His real hair, yeah. That's actually, if you can believe it. Oh shit!
Because you did have a Dave Charters mustache at one point.
Oh man, how do I get out of this? Oh, there we go. Yeah, no, this was not his real hair, but I do have his mustache in a jar. But this, believe it or not, I think I was at a party supply store, and he was, and I saw this mask. It was years ago, like years and years ago. I saw his mask and it had a mustache and glasses and everything attached to it. And I said, if I ever, it looks like a Charters mask.
It
said.
does.
And then so I'd put it into a box somewhere and I forgot about it. And then when I was searching for parts, I found it and I was trying to make his whole face. And then it ended up that this did most of it for me.
That is wicked.
Yeah. Let me just see if he can say anything else. Do you have, Dave, let me just see if we could see if this works. Dave, do you, oh shit, got too many buttons here. How do I do it? What can we ask him? What do you want to say? Charters, you've been busy during the pandemic?
No.
Oh, there it is. Good old rooster laugh.
What have you been thinking about mostly? Since you've been brought to life, do you feel, what kind of, do you feel like Dave? What kind of thoughts have been running through your head, or what kind of things do you mostly think about?
I wonder what Hitler would think of Oprah running for president.
Oh,
That's what you
shit.
think about? It's weird stuff, I don't know, man. You're a bit of a weird duck, I think.
Yeah, why? What's your problem, man? Yeah, why? What's your problem, man?
Oh, shit.
He's not bad, eh?
He's got lots to say. I like it.
He's a good laugher, too, That's what I like about him.
He even sounds like Charters, too.
Yeah, he's great.
It's a new generation.
Oh, shit.
It works perfect.
It does.
Do you want to know, this is it's my favorite invention that I've ever had, that I've ever done. Klunder's a big fan already. Jeff Klunder thought it was the actual rooster sitting there. But basically, I think this is even better than the real Charters.
I think so, too.
I think it's really better. And he's actually working quite good. I think this is a better Charters than we've ever had in the hall.
Evolution, baby. Evolution, baby.
He's a little, and I like how he's a repeater.
You know what? The nice touch of it is I try to give it real Charters qualities, too. I put a scent on it. I tried making it smell like
You gave him a musk?
Yeah, basically what I did was I put a whole bunch of soup in an old hockey bag, and then I put all his clothes in that soup with a hockey
It's got a
bag.
nice raunchy aroma.
Get a better smell.
What?
Get a better smell.
Is that? I don't want to get a smell of you. You're crazy.
Oh, that is awesome.
You know how I got his mouth moving?
How?
It's I took apart an old breast pump.
No way. I was wondering. I'm like, you found this stuff in your house?
Yeah. At first, I took apart some old DVD players, and I put I was going to use the DC motors in them that open and close it or whatever.
Right on.
But I was having a hard time with them, so then I decided I took apart this old breast pump. It's 20 years old, you know.
Yeah. So Charters, the new Charters technically has a breast pump in its mouth.
Yeah, he has. He's actually. His heart is a breast pump.
His
actually.
heart is the good old teat pump.
Yeah, which I think he thought that was funny. I'd like to just get he's kind of eerie in a way, eh?
He's got a serious look on him, but he's got a jaw.
What's your problem, man?
But I like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah, he's great. He's going to be a great addition to the show. And I think there's going to be what's nice about him is this is kind of the prototype model because this is pretty rough. Like, this is rough draft, you know?
Yeah, but you can always tweak a rough draft.
And, I do think I'm going to make some touches to him. And the second, I am going to create more movement with him.
Yeah.
Because those motors that I figured out, like I did all that.
It would be awesome if you can get him to like give people the finger.
Yeah,
that would be cool.
Like right now he's got no hands, and right now he can't move. You know, but like he can't move his head or his body.
Yeah.
But I have him set up that if I can take his body apart again,
yeah,
I can, and I don't have him mounted to that thing. I have it set up so that his neck and head can move, and I think I have something worked out for being able to turn. Like
I was gonna say, if you put him on like a bar stool and he could rotate, that would be insane. All of a sudden, you're talking and he just turns to you.
The nice part about this Beaver that makes me so excited, like I told you I had an idea, and you said you saw a spark in my eye. And this idea, when I had it on the weekend. I was just sitting here and I was like, Charters robot, and then I started doing searches on like how do you make a face, like a moving face or whatever. Because I've been making puppets during the pandemic for Tyler Morrison and John Moses. Like they were doing these jokes and putting them out, and I made puppets for them.
Yeah,
I made 3 different puppets for him, and so I had a bunch of puppet heads. And so it was just take it to the next step and make it move and stuff. And then I started watching this first video, and it was like this guy, he's like, he does it for Hollywood or something, you know, and he's going to teach you how to make a graphite head molded of, you know, like it's going to be like the Terminator or something, right?
Yeah.
And the second video was like this Indian kid who's just like in India, but he's like he's dirt poor, and he just has cardboard and a hot glue gun and like some old screws, and he made it work with these DC motors that he pulled out of other things.
Oh yeah, those kids they'll do anything with a fucking glue gun and a battery.
Yeah, it's great. So I'm like, if they can do it, then I can do it. So then I was like, I'm really going to do this. And then I started making promises, because that makes me really have to do it. Because I started telling people I got this thing.
You did the lead into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then the beautiful bastard came together, and I'm so happy with it.
It came together quite nicely. I like it.
Yeah, I really like the fact that we're going to make it like it's going to be something that, you know, we look at this one, we'll be looking back at this show one time, and we're going to be like just amazed at how many crazy like joint inspired like imagination sessions in the Dutch Hall have resulted in this guy actually coming to more and more to life.
The culminating of Charters 2.0.
Yeah. He's excited about it too, eh? He knows it's just the beginning, eh, buddy?
Charters 2.0.
Why are you so contrary all the time, you know?
Yeah, what's your problem, man?
Yeah.
You're talking to yourself?
Get a better smell.
Oh shit.
Oh, it doesn't work.
It's a new generation.
I like that one.
Yeah. Yeah, he's great.
Oh, I was just looking at his mustache, and I was thinking about this story today. I was telling you about earlier in sports.
Yeah.
And this guy got traded from one hockey team to the next. He's been in the NHL for like, I'd say a dozen years. I'd say at least. Guy had like full bore, mean looking, beard going on. Somebody you wouldn't want to fuck with. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you showed me a picture of this guy.
Yeah, like I wouldn't want to fuck with your Chargers 2.0 based on his stature and mustache and.
Could he wear that mustache if he played for the Islanders?
Hell no.
They wouldn't let him have a mustache either?
No, I'm surprised. He wasn't even allowed to have them eyebrows. They're too aggressive.
Oh, yeah, those eyebrows are crazy.
They are aggressive.
Hey, did you always have those eyebrows? Did you always have those eyebrows, Charlie?
Those sweeping eyebrows?
Oh, when did you grow those? During the pandemic?
No.
Is everything going to be now?
No.
He just likes fucking with us.
Yeah, I don't think this guy seems like he's got a mind of his own. He's a bit of a fuck stick there.
So yeah, back to my story. This guy looked like somebody you would walk up to in public, and I was gonna say I thought he went on.
He was just chewing gum.
Yeah, I thought he got lock. He's got lockjaw now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, this guy, the story I was telling you about, this guy would be somebody I'd walk up to in public and be like, I really don't want to fuck with this guy. And then his new general manager made him shave his beard on a new team that he got traded to.
Yeah.
So imagine going through quarantine. You got a nice beard. Last day of quarantine. Yeah, here's a razor. You can't come out until you take the beard off.
Yeah, and you don't look like a man anymore.
Yeah, that guy looks like a fucking... it's hard to say this because I'm not what you'd call a strong person either, but he looked like a pussy.
Yeah. Well, number one, I wanted to say any job where they're saying they think it's gonna make a fucking difference, especially sports. If you got a guy with or without a beard, you're gonna make a better hockey team.
Right.
It's just bullshit. It's some sort of a power grab this cock has to say I'm gonna force all these millionaires to have to look the way I want them to look. Like, fuck
Right.
you, man.
Exactly. Like, okay, my father-in-law, for instance, when he was a crane operator, this one job he went to, it required him to shave his beard, and now that was for safety reasons because he had to be able to wear a chemical mask. It was at a plant.
Oh yeah.
And let me tell you, he was unrecognizable.
Yeah, because Joe Patello.
Yeah.
He's got a. What's so funny about that?
I know we all make fun of Joe.
That wasn't supposed to be funny, but anyways, the Joe he always has a huge beard, and then because sometimes he has to wear a mask, so he's got to shave the beard.
Yeah,
and he looks ridiculous. He loses all his power like Samson. Like he ends up looking terrible.
Well, my father-in-law doesn't look terrible without his beard, but it's just like he is one with the beard. Like it.
I know, but some people they're supposed to have a beard. Like
right.
That's how they're supposed to be, and if they don't have it, they don't look right. And that's for someone to say it has any bearing on the job you do. That's horseshit.
Exactly.
It's just crazy. It's just them.
The beard doesn't change your personality. It doesn't change who you are. It changes your appearance. End of story.
It's just this guy trying to have control over his people.
It's a power trip thing, right?
Yeah, Cox. I was thinking about we were talking about. I never finished. I'll finish the show because tonight with this, I never finished saying. Remember how I said you had little man energy?
Yeah.
But I had a theory about you.
Yeah.
And why you don't have that little man energy? I mean, like why you don't have that? Like,
oh yeah, I'd like to hear this.
So you have. So I have a theory, right? Like, because you have a lot of confidence, but you don't have that like. Where you're like trying to pick fights with people and you're trying to like one of those guys. But you're good.
Little man syndrome.
Little man syndrome. That's what I was trying to say the whole time. But those guys are like jerks and stuff, and you don't have any of that. but you're good still at stuff. So I think if you wanted to be like a prick like that, if you wanted to be a fighter or whatever, you probably could,
Right.
you know? So then I'm thinking, well, then there's something else, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the other day, we were having a conversation. You tipped me off, and I figured it out.
Okay.
So we're having a conversation. You say to me, I got really big hands. And then you show me your hands, and they're fucking huge.
Yeah, I got big hands.
They're giant. They're really big. Like, they're bigger than mine. And I'm taller than you by quite a bit. And then,
Quite a bit, like probably like half a foot.
but your hands are bigger than mine.
Yeah.
So it's clear to me. What about your feet? What
I
size feet?
size 11.
You do have size 11. Like, that's the thing. You break your spine when you're a kid or something?
I don't know, but
You're supposed to be big.
The feet thing kind of bothers me sometimes because it's like I get clown feet almost because it doesn't fit my stature.
Yeah, and your hands too. Like, you got
Right.
big paws, like you're still growing into them.
Right, but but you can hide your hands kind of. You can't hide your feet.
And you know what else? Comes to my point here. The reason that you don't have that small man syndrome, and the reason that you don't act like a dick, even though you could,
I got big characteristics.
you got a big dick, buddy. You got big cock energy, man.
Wow.
That's what it really is.
I hope to portray that.
That's what it comes across as. I think it's pretty. I've never seen your dick, and I'm not even asking to see it. But if I had to bet money against somebody, if someone comes in here and they say, like, I bet you Beaver's got a big dick, I'm not betting against that guy.
Oh, right on, buddy.
I'm saying I think you're probably right, big dick. Plus, your wife's pretty hot, like probably hotter than you should get.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Right, and then also points to larger than average dick, and no, that's it. That's my evidence. I don't think I need any more than that.
No, you don't actually. You don't. You hit the nail on the head there.
So, anyways,
no pun intended.
I am sorry, ladies, but Beaver is taken, and there's not much you can do about it now.
No.
But just so you know,
Our next life.
his cock is legendary.
Yeah.
Anyways, everyone,
I always say that's why I got the nickname Beaver.
is that because you get a lot of beaver?
Well, I got to see a lot when I was younger.
You're busy like a beaver.
Yeah.
What the hell, Charles?
Charges go rambling.
Charles, what are you gonna think about anything much when you go home? If in the week, are you gonna prepare anything? Or are you just gonna sit there and think about stuff? What are you gonna think about?
I wonder what Hitler would think of Oprah running for president.
You still on that? You know, why are you still talking about that stuff?
Hitler would.
What?
You're almost there, buddy.
He's just stuttering and talking about Hitler. I think you have to think about something different. Okay, Dave.
No.
Yeah, come at us with something else next week.
Okay, you're gonna have to do something better than that. All right.
We do appreciate you. You came out with a bang, so we like it.
Get a better smell. It's a new generation.
All right, everybody. That has been our show. If you liked it, please tell a friend. You can give us feedback at livefromthedutchhall@gmail.com, or you can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all that shit. We're Dutch Hall or The Dutch Hall with Pete Van Dyke. You'll find us there. Just put in Dutch Hall Podcast. And until next week, we will see you NT. See you next Thursday.
Yeah. Yeah, buddy.
No shit, Clunder. You're exactly right. You wear the beard to intimidate, not to. You don't make yourself look like a pussy.
Yeah, we wanted to say that. You're right.
That's good. We can actually talk to the listeners, but we're doing it during the theme song. They can still hear us. Thanks a lot, Clunder. Good to see you, and Kevin.
Well, and like the whole playoff beard. Remember that too?
Yeah, they don't let their team have playoff beards.
Yeah, no.
Fucking stupid. Man.
Stupid, man.
Really, they're in the. They suck
Like,
for
just
so long.
imagine a guy like Nazem Kadri when Lou Lamoriello was GM for Toronto. That guy would have had to shave like 3 times a day.